back at it. And what I've done, instead of hooking up all 4 cylinders, I split it in 2. So I'm just cause that first test was kind of a mishap. It was a little out of control, I think. So I just got 1 and 2 hooked up over here. So I'll do 1 and 2. I'll do 3 and 4 separately. And I'll do 2 and 3 to sync them both. But it seems like this seems to work out a little better. Get a little airflow. See, I got the vacuum of the 2-cylinder semi-equal, but seems like after you chirp it a little bit, about to make another little adjustment. And they say it's as long as you get the vacuum even for a little amount of time, because it's never going to stay the same. I'm going to try to get the levels a little bit, kind of equal a little bit. And I'll try to get it leveled off. Try to get them to level off. Fairly level right there, but too bad. It's very adequate. Give me another extra. Adjusting that screw down there. That's very close. Take a look at that. Very decent, okay over there, I guess. So I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna take these off, move these over to 3 and 4, and I'll cap these. And then we'll see if I'm just gonna go ahead and use bottles 1 and 2 for 3 and 4. They seem like they're pretty much airtight and doing okay, so let's go and go with that. Pause real quick. I got 3 and 4 hooked up. I went ahead and used bottles 3 and 4 for cylinders 3 and 4. And make some adjustments here. You get vacuum pulling in one and a little less in the other. I'll get even that right back there if I can. So far so good, looks pretty good. Too much vacuum on number 4 because it just sucked. It just fucking blew. That was a trip. Well, I had it pretty steady, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that on 3 and 4, and now I'm gonna come back, do 2 and 3. I'm going to do 2 and 3 using bottles 1 and 2. And that should tie them all in together. So, wow. Suck that puppy right up there. At least I know it was airtight. Alright, man. I'll get back in a second. Late. Okay, so I went ahead. Capped off the niplet for 4. 3 still open. 3 still open. That's when we're using that. I'm going to use 3. Then we're going to be using 2. Going to be using 2 and 3 to sink them all across the line. Hopefully, number 1's capped off. So let's just go. Hopefully this worked out okay. Do a little blow in and try to get off the fluid. That's just me blowing in the intake line. Careful, you don't want to breathe any of that shit in because there's still some gas fumes in there. So that's cool for now. So So I'll jam this bad boy right down to number 2. You know what? And that softened up a little bit. See how it softened up a little bit? So I'm gonna cut that off so I get a tighter seal. That off, because this type of tubing, it'll soften up a little bit with heat, so cutting the end off will hopefully give me a better seal. Yes, I'll gear the screwdriver on a sec. Yeah, we're down all the way. That'll work. Let's see, I'll probably have to do the same thing over here. Let's see. That's not too bad. Yeah, fuck, I should cut it anyway if it'll hook on just a second. Sorry about that. Got that cut off. Okay, that's gonna have to work for now. Okay, we'll fire up and see. See, my mixture screw is right down there. It's kind of a tight space, so I need like a long screwdriver that'll fit down in there without any interruptions. Let's see. Damn. That's gonna be a tricky one. See if I can squeeze down through here a little bit. It's probably gonna be my best bet. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Fire it up. Let's see what happens. Okay, got a little bit of movement there, so I'm gonna take it down like 3 or 4 clicks like I did the other ones right offhand. Might have to come back the other way. Let me go ahead and, instead of going 3 or 4 clicks down, to go ahead and come back up the opposite direction. It gets a little better. There we go. Kind of smooth it out a little bit. don't have much movement in liquid in either bottle, so. What do you think? Okay, now I got a little, yeah, see, I got a little bit of movement now. So this is actually hooked up to carb cylinder 3. This is hooked up to cylinder 2. So this should be sinking them right across the line. So you got a little bit of movement. Not too bad. Not a whole bunch of unstable up and down movement. It's pretty fluid. You're gonna have some movement, from what I hear, minor. But as long as you can keep the levels fairly stable without too much vacuum on one or the other. I mean, even the slight adjustment on these adjustment screws will get these things rolling. So that goes. I mean, it looks. I think that's something I can live with. Another adjustment, give another chirp, and hopefully I won't suck the bottle down like I did the other one. It looks pretty good. I can live with that. Yeah, what do you think? A little movement, but I think that's something I can hang with. Let me get back in here on my screw real quick. Oh shit, it wasn't right. Oh, there it is. Get over. Alright, that looks pretty good. Just gonna move the whole lot. Okay, so those were pretty much leveled off, looking okay. So hopefully that'll do it. So I'll just You know, that's your poor man's synchronization tool for your carburetors. You know, if you want to go out and spend 80 to 100 bucks and get a set of gauges, probably do that too. But now I realize that instead of getting 4 gauges, all you really need is 2. You know, you just split it in half, just like I did here. Instead of using all 4 bottles, I just split it in half and used 2 for cylinder. You know what I'm saying? For cylinders 1 and 2. And once you're done doing that, cap those off and just go over and use them on 3 and 4, and then come back to 2 and 3. So actually, you only need if you were going to go the gauge route, just 2 gauges actually, just because all I really needed here was 2 bottles. I could, and wasn't necessary for 4, so it was a little hectic when I first tried it with 4. You know, I think I had possibly, I don't think I had it. I don't think my goo and gum and all that stuff up there was set. I think I might have had some air leaks, possibly. I'm not sure, but it worked out better that I split it in half. Had a little more control of it. So, you know, I think when the water was bubbling, doing all of that, if you had a gauge, your gauge would be doing this. Your needle on your gauge would be bah, 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 bah. And there's an adjustment on those gauges that will allow you to semi-adjust that spazziness on the needle and try to get it. You know, I mean, you're going to have some movement, but at least you on those gauges you can kind of control it somewhat. But I think that was all the bubbling in the water was the similar effect that would be on a gauge. So, all right, man, let me wrap this up. I kind of did this because my son Alejandro, he saw me doing the bottles, and everybody was asking, "Man, what is that? What are you doing?" He really didn't know what was going on. I didn't have a clue. I didn't tell him. And I told my son last week. I said, "Yeah, you know, saw a way to synchronize, you know, your carburetors without using gauges, you know, this way." And I just want to give it a shot and see how it works. And he goes, he just, I got to see this. So this is that's why I got this on tape it for him. So kind of give him an idea what it was doing. And you know, like my first attempt at this with the 4 bottles, and it was kind of like, just out of control and this and that. Next night, my wife comes out, and I actually had the bottles kind of like sitting off to the side, you know, not hooked up like this. She comes and wakes me up, and she goes, "What's in those bottles? You got gasoline in those bottles? What are you doing with those bottles? How come you got gasoline in those bottles?" And she woke me up from my dead sleep. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. What the hell are you talking about? Bottles, gasoline, what are you talking about? And then after I woke up and kind of came out here, the way that these were sitting in the light, I see where she's coming from, because it kind of looks like a dark gasoline, you know, especially the way the light was hitting it. And actually, all that is water with a little bit of, you know, Kool-Aid in it to give it some color. So, but yeah, she kind of tripped out. Man, what are you doing with those bottles and all the gasoline? And I didn't have a clue. So, anyways, there it is. I'm going to take these all apart. I'm going to get my tank back on. Fire it up. Actually, I'm going to fire it up. I'm just going to take the tubes off and fire it up, run it for a little bit, and see how it runs. It sounds good. And then, you know, once I get all tied up and get it on the road, we'll see if it makes any difference. Hopefully I, you know, did it correctly and got some synchronization somehow, some way, across the line of carbs. You know, it's been running pretty good as it is, but I'll see if it makes a difference. If the carbs are all synced in some way, it should have a little bit of enhanced performance, especially on the throttle response. As when you got all carbs, you know, doing their thing together in sequence, that's the way it's supposed to work. So let me shut it down for now, and I'll get back with you. All right.